And welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, you know me, the usual Tito's Orange Cran. Mr. Nick, what are you drinking and our three things for the show?
I am drinking I'm drinking something special tonight. It's Valentine's Day, Nikki. It is Stag's Leap. So we are doing our Artemis.
Your fancy
My
wine.
fancy. So we've had three things. Well, one, it's Valentine's Day. We're doing a very Valentine's Day special. Who your crushes are, who's your favorite couple, very much more. And we're going over our normal rundown of the week. 5 wrestlers have advanced in the Elimination Chamber, and Ricky Starks has debuted in WWE. Nikki, it's Friday, February 14th, 2025, Valentine's Day. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
To the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's let it go. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. It is a very special Valentine's Day edition of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. If you are new here, welcome in. Hit the old like and subscribe along the way. If you are a regular, we love having you back in. Welcome back. Let us know, as always, what you're thinking, what you're drinking. We'll have the call-in segment. We're doing a lot. But, Nikki, we're going to open with something a little special because, again, it's Valentine's Day, and I just want you to know more than anything in the world how much I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Oh, you're so creepy.
I love you.
I love you too.
So, Nikki, we're going to get into it.
We're gonna
this
get
is going to be a heat. This is going to be a soft.
Well, because last year, again, we were so new. We were like our second month into doing this crazy thing. And I was like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. Let's talk about, because honestly, wrestling couples, kayfabe, non-kayfabe, mostly non-kayfabe, is absolutely my favorite thing in the entire world. So I was like, oh, we should talk about our favorite couples. And Nick was like, absolutely not. So this year, I was like, let's talk about wrestling couples, please. And he's like, okay. So.
Welcome in.
Hi, Josh.
Welcome in. Happy Valentine's Day. Lisa.
Lisa.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Love you.
Cheryl, welcome in. Almost first of you. Happy Valentine's Day.
So Nick because Nick always has to have topics.
Dude.
There's 2 that I'm team of. One I'm not happy about.
It's going to be a good one.
Let me talk about wrestling couples. But.
Well, Nikki, you said it. We're going to get into it. There's been a lot of wrestling couples.
So many. And I was just like rattling them off to you. I was like, we can talk about this. We can talk about this. We can talk about this. And you're like, let's just pick our favorites. And I was like, okay.
Well, before we do that, let's look back at some of the more famous and some of the newer wrestling couples, both inside and outside of the ring. We like to seal it with a
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me, and I can't get enough of you, baby. Yeah, you get enough of me. I was made
Nikki, so the question is, because you put it out
It's
there.
my favorite.
Yes, happy Hallmark Day.
This is why we're here doing this, and not like out somewhere spending $4,000 on a dinner that's $20.
Exactly.
Spending it with all you because we love you.
So, Nikki, we throw it out there to everyone. What is your favorite? Because this is Nikki's favorite topic.
This is my favorite topic.
At least for this show.
I can do
This is
I
a
should do
very
my
Nikki-
own podcast about how much
This
I love
is a very
wrestling couples.
Nikki-centric show. I will tell you, it's very Nick-centric.
Sorry, not sorry.
So, Nikki, we will start. There's been a lot.
There's so many, and I could talk about them so much, but I was
Matt
always
Cardona.
Chelsea
And
Green.
Green.
Again, you have Seth and Becky in the middle. Like, even with like Miz and Maurice, I was like, oh my god, they're so cute together.
So
There's
many.
so many. I really like Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. That's like an AEW couple that I love very much. Again, I can keep going on. I'm allowed my one, and I will say my one.
Scarlett and Carrion.
I know
As
that
I
was
put in the video here. There's a lot. There's a lot, especially when you're on the road and touring. What's the War Raiders? And Sarah
Eric.
Logan?
Eric.
Eric and Sarah Logan.
Yes,
Another one.
Raymond Rao. That's what I wanted to say. I was like, his name. Well, that's his real name. It's Raymond Rao. So she's technically. See, we can't get into it.
Steven's already fact checking. Technically, all couples are wrestling couples. I don't know.
If you, I don't know. I'm not
you
cool enough,
know
Steven.
what I mean. Oh, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Got that one. Lisa's already thinking
There's
favorite.
there's so many. There's so many. There's so many. There's so many. But I'm going to stick with my number one, my tried and true, from kayfabe to non-kayfabe, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I loved this so much. I love them so much. I remember so vividly of him coming out and ruining Stephanie and Tess's wedding. And she's like, I hate you. And the whole, like, they went to the little chapel and he was like, not drugged her. Anywho.
we won't talk about that.
And then, but then the swerve of it all. It looks like he's going to hit her with a sledgehammer. And then she gets up and turned around and she's like, what? And then she has that, everyone, like, when she smiles, I think I do it too, when she smiles, like, her nose crunches and she has her devious smile and, like, hug. And then the next Raw, that's where that photo is from. She cuts the promo on Vince. She's like, I'm not daddy's little girl anymore. She walks down the ramp and she's with Triple H at the top and he's like, oh, we're going to seal with a kiss. And they have the most, like, kiss. And I'm like, yes, forever. And then they sit on the top. Again, this is so Attitude Era. Then when they sit on the top of the ramp and they have their leather couches and their charcuterie boards. And I'm just like, how they like ran Raw. They helped her win the women's championship off Jacqueline. And it's just like, oh my God, like I just love them. And then to find out, you know, like, because when I kind of dropped off wrestling, it's like, oh no, they're together in real life and they get married in real life. And it's just they have 3 daughters together and just like watching clips and stuff. And I know it's so cheesy that people talk kind of crap about it, but when she comes out for all is the WrestleMania entrances and she's there with them, and it's just like I just feel like they so like outside the ring, like support each other, love each other, and just like her face, like I don't know if you watched like the background stuff on YouTube when Taker and Shawn announced that he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, and she's like crying in the background, and she's like, oh, but it's just like you just tell that they love and support each other, and it's just like in his documentary, because of course I have that on the double DVD. When he's like, you know, Triple H was saying that about their relationship, he's like, oh, it started in wrestling, and it's, you know, everyone thinks their relationship is about wrestling, but he's like, it's everything kind of but wrestling. And it's just like, I just love their love so much. And it makes me, I just love their love. I know. I could talk about this all day, but I'll concede my time.
So, again, the question is, what is your favorite pro wrestling couple, whether it's on screen, real life, off screen? To me, there's really only one.
The first.
And it's the first, yeah. It's the original. Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. The original wrestling love story. And everything that kind of centered around, like, everything after. It's like the whole, like, even the Mega Power stuff, like him turning heel and going with Sherry.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, don't get me started. I have to apologize to Josh about screaming about Cherry Martell. Don't make me do it again.
Won't.
How dare you?
But every bit of this story and like what she brought out of his character along the way, made him so endearing, much more endearing, I think, to the fans than he ever was. And then when he turned heel, everything else that happened with the Hogan stuff, and then the Macho King, and eventually getting back together, right? Like, just that was the love story. There really wasn't much like that.
Yeah,
You know, like even after, like they started trying to do it, but like nothing ever went to the layers that it did at that point in time in terms of like the character development and like the slow burns and everything that happened with it. So to me, this was by far. What?
No, because I just want to, because again, they're the first iconic wrestling couple that everyone thinks of, and I think there's like so many iconic moments. Again, when he first announced that she was his manager, because there's all those like Freddie Blassie, and I think Mr. Fuji, and like all these other like managers in the ring were vying for Macho Man, and he's like, no, and he introduces Miss Elizabeth. She comes out like regal as fuck, because I loved Miss Elizabeth so much. And then like there's like this, then they're like, oh well, they have this like love story. He loves her, and then like Hulk Hogan comes in, and there's like the
Hulk Hogan,
and then like they're kind of like it's like I've been lost in rise for Miss Elizabeth, and then like they kind of break up, and you're like, no, as much as I love Sherry Martel, Josh knows, but then you don't see Miss Elizabeth, and then at WrestleMania you see her in the crowd, and you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And then kind of like she runs in and rips Sherry off her, and then like he was like ready, like, oh, what happened? And he turns around and sees her, and then just like, oh, they come back together, and then her fabulous star sweater, and they have the most iconic wedding at SummerSlam. And it's just like, with this, I have this BK baby on this relationship, but it's just like, it was iconic. She was amazing. I love their in-ring love.
Yeah, it's great.
Very much.
Again, I think this might have been your one more than mine.
Oh, I could talk about wrestling couples all day.
I know. Maybe that's what it is. So yeah, this was just again an iconic moment. So many iconic moments created with the two of them. So to me, that was my favorite wrestling couple. But let's bring it to the audience here. Let us know in the chat below, who is your favorite pro wrestling couple? Again, whether kayfabe storyline or out of storyline,
Or both, because now there's so many that's like both, like with Seth and Becky, Miz and Maurice, like more to an extent, Punk and AJ, Penelope and Kip. Like there's so many that kind of like, or Brian and Bray. I can keep going.
Yeah. All right, well, we got a couple. So Josh agrees with you. He said he was a Stephanie McMahon guy.
Sure.
All my friends love leader, Chris, but me, I was going to marry Stephanie. Well, hey, Josh, we're going to get to that. That seems like your crush. We're going to get to that. That is coming. Don't get too ahead of yourself, premature. All right. It is a very loving episode. All right. I will tell you that. It could be, you could argue it's a very
And I want to give it all to you.
very simple. I told you there were going to be drops. Nikki didn't think it was coming. You knew it was coming. There's more.
Oh God, hey again, it's gonna be a day.
It's gonna be a night. It's gonna be a fun Valentine's night. If you're sitting at home with nothing better to do and you want to talk wrestling like us, let's do it. Let's have some fun. So, your favorite pro wrestling couple, Nikki, Lisa chimed in. It's an interesting one. One of the first couples you remember is Lita and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, and then I was just like, again, that was like, I don't, maybe it was a kayfabe and non-kayfabe, but they were like together in real life and then together on screen. And then Edge happened.
Yeah.
And then they really were on screen together. But I feel like, I feel like 90s really kind of ramped it. Attitude Era, obviously everything ramped it up.
God, really? Yes, Lisa, that drop just happened.
Are you surprised? We should know him by now.
Steven putting
cool.
Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious. Also Tully Blanchard and Baby Doll from the old Cricket Mid-Atlantic shows. Steven dropping it.
Dropping knowledge.
That man.
Always. I remember Baby Doll. I don't know. I feel like if I saw a picture of Precious, I'd be like, oh yeah, her. But I remember Baby Doll.
The chat is getting way ahead of ourselves with the crushes. John saying Lita and AJ. They are not a couple yet. You're getting ahead of yourself. But this is a good one.
No,
So
he's saying Lita and AJ.
Oh.
How'd you read that? No, AJ's the
AJ?
lady AJ, not man AJ.
yeah. So wrestling couples, Lita and AJ were not a couple.
No.
I'm
Oh my
very-
God, Jeho, I got you. Just move on. I'm pretty sure he's talking about hot chicks.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about it. Correct. Well, Joho, we will get to it. He can let us know when he calls
Yes.
in.
Now,
He may or may not, as a new regular, may or may not have an intro. So just throwing that.
Lord
out.
help us. Lord
So-
help us through the show. Gotcha, babe.
We keep majorly. Yes, he was talking about. Yes, we were on the same page. But still. Anyway, moving along, Nikki. Sometimes,
This is the part I don't like and vetoed, but I was clearly overruled because I'm not invited to production meetings.
yes, you missed the production memo, and if you just read your emails, you would have gotten it. But regardless, sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you just need to break up. So here's some of the breakups over the
Hi, babe.
It's to me. As of this moment, our marriage is over.
Pretending to be in love with you all of these years? I want a divorce.
Nikki.
I'm so
What
upset.
is love? So Nikki,
No, you ruined a good song and you took everyone
that was a
down.
great song.
No, I don't.
I didn't ruin it, and that was a great cover. Yeah. So I'm throwing this out here as a fun little topic because
Is it
sometimes
fun?
things end and you just need to go your separate ways. So Nikki, I know you hate this topic, so maybe our chat will pick up.
Well, now, honestly, I honestly, because I knew this was coming and I didn't have one and I was going to yell at you. But watching our intro, I do have one.
Oh,
Liv and Dirty Dom need to break up
interesting.
because he was all like trying to get back with Rhea when she got the belt, and then like all of a sudden, like that one brawl after Liv was like kind of giving him shit. Now they're back together. Like I want this to be because I know they're so leaning into the Eddie China thing. I want it to be the opposite. I want like again, I'm still calling Liv Finn. I want Liv to be the one that cheats and then like goes off of another guy and just leaves Dom. That's my hopes and dreams.
And
But I
Dom
hate this
finally
topic.
feels the pain.
Right?
So I put this out there as who needs to break up in terms of not a relation, maybe an on-screen kayfabe term, right? Not in terms of real life relationships for whoever's doing something. But meaning, like to me, it could be someone like the Street Profits, right? Is Montez Ford ready to make that jump to a singles run, right? I think a lot of it has to do the tag division, right? Like, is there a group that you see, right? Like maybe it's Damage Control because they haven't really been doing much lately. Maybe EO needs to go off on her own, or Dakota needs to join up with somebody else, right? Is there a team out there that you all feel needs to just go their separate? To me, I think the one that makes the most sense for WWE is the Grayson Waller Austin Theory. They've been teasing it for like a year now.
Did you say the Austin Theory?
Maybe the Austin Theory. That should be his new nickname, the Austin Theory.
The Austin Theory. I really like Grayson Waller. I feel like he's just carrying the dead weight of Austin Theory. Like Austin Theory was such a Vince guy. Vince is very much gone. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, and I thought they'd put him with. I think if they break him up, let him go with DIY, let Grayson go to Raw. Yeah,
They both are on Raw now. Yes.
But yeah, put him with DIY, let him go their separate ways. Let Grayson try and be the singles mid card guy that I think he could be.
Mm-hmm.
Tony and Dave. That's actually not a bad one. Tony and Dave. You can get it. Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer. No.
Oh, sorry. Think of that one.
Oh.
I'm so bad at jokes sometimes. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay. So yes, just to clarify, Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer. Stevie needed to put.
Sorry, no, I'm so bad at jokes. Nick says stuff to me all the time, and I'm like, what?
See, Joe agrees. Damage control was done when Bailey was done with it.
Yeah, I think if Dakota didn't get injured twice, again, also if Asuka didn't get injured, I just think there were so many injuries, and then like the kind of start stop, and I just kind of think Io and Dakota could be stars on their own. And have we seen Kyrie? Oh no, Kyrie got her hand squished during the IC thing, but we haven't seen her in a while. Yeah, but no, I agree. I think Damage Control, it's time to. I also ran its course.
Lisa thinks when Jade Cargill comes back, she needs to leave Bianca and do her own thing.
Agreed.
So that's a brief. Yeah, that team.
Again, like, I don't know if it's injury or non-injury. Kayfabe, not. There's been so many rumors and speculation about Jade. I think it made sense to kind of put her with Bianca because again, she's very green. But I think they thought they were to have this Mania match of them imploding and all this other stuff. But whatever Jade's doing, I don't know. But I agree with you. I think they need to be separate as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. Those are some really good ones. Really good ones. So let us know in the chat below again if there's any more that we haven't thought about in the process. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already, as people are popping into the chat. Nikki, fun night to start here on Valentine's Day. So, Nikki, we have 3 little mini topics in our Valentine's Day
Extravaganza.
Valentine's Day special. So, we talked about wrestling couples.
Yep.
We talked about wrestling breakups.
Boo.
And now we get to talk about the most controversial part of the show, crushes. And since you missed the production meeting, you didn't get a video of all the male crushes because you listed them off. So, just for our 85% male audience, sorry, Lisa, you have to deal with it. Here is some of our crushes from over the years of wrestling's sexiest women. Let's just say most beautiful women.
You don't have to say you love me. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say you're mine, honey. I'd walk through fire for you. Just let me adore you, oh honey. I'd walk through fire for you. Just let me adore you. That's the only thing I am.
So, Nikki, we're putting it out there.
No, I love it. I love it for you so much. No, it's hop on. I'm into it. Go.
I put it out there just because I was trying to put a bunch of different things of like who was downloaded, who was crushed on, right? And I like Googled it and I did a lot of research on it. And it literally
Did research on it.
We did a lot of research.
In the basement for 2 days doing research.
There was a lot of research.
Oh,
There was a lot of research going
yep. Sure. God, so many things.
on. I know, a lot of drops. So, who is your pro wrestling crush? But yeah, before I ask you,
Wait, can I tell you my girl crush? No. Okay.
Yes. Before you answer, I will say that yes. Just to clarify, there was a lot of blondes in the whole Vince McMahon era. It was hard to find a couple. Like there was only a couple that he pushed, it seemed like. But regardless, again, the topic exists. Who is your pro wrestling crush?
I do. Joho shouted you out. When I first started watching wrestling again, Caitlyn was my girl crush. I loved Caitlyn. Her and the Biggie storyline was dog shit. And I feel bad for everything that happened to her, but she was hot. Like Caitlyn. I guess nowadays I think I'm like with everybody else. Like obviously Rhea is everyone's girl crush. I do love Liv. I do love a Jersey girl. And the leaps and bounds that she does. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
AJ
Steven knows I only read the articles.
Don't lie for him, Steven.
Well done. So
And then also Lisa said AJ Lee, also coming back. Like I just want to like put her in my pocket. Like, just what she did. I feel like she was so for her time, and I think you can say that also kind of a bit like Beth Phoenix as well. It's just like I love when she did her own pipe bomb. It's like, oh, that like, oh, what was it? I'm gonna butcher this. Someone's gonna say it right. When she basically cut the promo on the Bellatons, was like, too bad that like being good at the ring isn't like sexually transmitted.
Yeah, that was great.
It's just like, oh, get her, girl. Even though I love Nikki Bella very, very much, but it was just like she was so before her time, and she was just so cute and tiny and perfect. And again, another wrestling couple, AJ and CM Punk, I love together. But
She goes again.
I know I can't stop myself.
So
Like,
Nikki,
I don't watch celebrity shit. I don't know what celebrities dating who. Wrestling couples, I know it all.
so Nikki,
Oh, so I
who
think-
is your pro wrestling crush? I'm ready to hear it.
So that he was putting together a promo package. He's like, oh yeah, he did his research and he was putting all the top Googled or Binged or whatever the fuck it's called, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay. I was like, well then, do I get a video package of male? And then he like gave me a look, and I was like, I know we're mostly male, but like me and Lisa need a promo video if you're gonna do them.
Acknowledge me.
I was like, oh, like we can do like some Finn Balor when Lisa's man Drew McIntyre tried to go over the rope and he hit his, So I don't get a fun promo package. I get 2 pictures. Of one- like you're alienating a certain we don't know. We could
If you were part of the production meetings, okay,
these fucking production meetings.
and
I'm
didn't
just
follow up
saying.
these meetings,
For my ladies, my men's, whatever you like, whatever tickles your fancy. I'm allowed 2 photos.
yes. So
And please go. What you talk about the guy?
keep going. I'm giving you background. Let's go. Nikki.
So obviously the first one he chose was first Triple H. Triple H is the first love of my life, obviously. And he's like, oh, you can kind of see his crotch. And I was like, okay.
That's all you get.
You got 4,000 pairs of boobs. I get 1 crotch shot.
Yeah, but you get 2 boobs.
Equality.
To be fair, Nikki has 2 boobs here, bare-breasted. So I didn't put any bare-breasted photos in our. So
If you could, you would.
we're not. That's neither here nor there.
So obviously, I think I beat. Everyone knows I love Triple H. I think we can move on. The second one, because I rattled off so many. Because again, it's different. It was like, oh yeah, he's attractive, and also he's really great in the ring, and also he's great to cut promo. And then it's like, oh yeah, that feud, and I can go again. Wrestling is life, and I can ramble and ramble and ramble. But I listed so many, and then then you said you were gonna put CM Punk. I was like, I do love CM Punk very much, but I don't think this fits this category. And then so I said who I was gonna pick, and you're like, ugh.
Gross.
And I know we talked about the other week about my hall passes and stuff, but like the next one, maybe surprise, maybe or not, but it's Eddie motherfucking Kingston. And I love and adore Eddie probably more than anybody does, or probably more than anyone should. I don't know if Ed's on or going to be around, but he knows my love for Eddie Kingston. Again, like
Oh wait, Ed likes a guy named Eddie. Real shocker.
but it's just like I don't know. I'm probably not attractive to most people. I find him attractive, but also just like he kept like in the ring, his mic skills, the way if you watch Being Elite, he cut a promo on a cookie, and you're just like, it was incredible. Like the way he talks, the way he carries himself, it's the charisma, the whatever he has. I'm just like, it makes me drawn to him. Again, like he doesn't need his boobs out.
Exactly.
I mean, like I would be mad at it, but.
Very different.
But I miss Eddie. We've had the conversation, me and Eddie a couple whatever ago. And I was like, I miss him on my screen. I know he fucked up his knee and all that other stuff, but like, I do miss him. I do miss him. Like, I know just gravitas, his presence, what you bring. Like, it's not all like looks. I want you to reel me in. And Eddie does.
Eddie reeled her in.
He reels me in.
So
Why I like Eddie Kingston. You showed your montage of ladies. You're like, boobs.
yeah.
Which I get. Boobs are great. Boobs are fun. But I'm like, at least there's a reason why I have my crushes. You're just like,
Fair enough. Well, I reason. No, I disagree with that.
anything. You're like,
Yeah.
You're
There's a
like
reason why.
blondes,
So
blondes.
before we get to the chat,
I'm busting your balls.
I know it is unbelievable this one. So for me, on the male side of things, if
Yeah,
we go
what's your
back to
male
this-
crush?
Not male side. There's no- I don't have-
Male crush.
there's no-
Girl.
I didn't have. No. So anyway, we move along. My crush has to be growing up, teenager, attitude era. I feel like Nikki thinks one thing, it's going to be really surprising.
And you also threw a couple names out there.
I know. I threw a couple names out, but to me, it has to be Lita. Because, again, growing up, teenager, watching the Attitude Era, don't get out much. This is in the day of the internet, folks, where the internet was first coming out.
Interwebs.
Interwebs. So, getting these magazines were a big thing back then. Getting anything was very shocking. So to see Lita on WWE TV with her little thong up, sleeping it out a little bit,
Get it, girl.
to me, just, hey, sometimes leave enough to the imagination, just enough.
Just a
she-
little whale tail.
And then, oh my God, later when she did the stuff with Edge, I was like, okay, this is a whole other side of you that I was not expecting. Very, very different. And a little bit older, I'm like, okay. And
Girl.
Nikki would say, I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it. Get it, girl.
So I would throw it out to our audience. Who is your pro wrestling crush?
No, they're mocking my Eddie. Eddie does have boobs, and I'm okay with that.
Let's see.
Okay. I want really.
Steven said fair is fair. Zach, fair is fair. Yeah, appeal to all the demos. Yes, Steven. Lisa said
I know.
Seth Rollins.
But I probably talk every podcast about how much I love Seth Rollins. So I figured I would throw in someone different. Again, a podcast about me saying how much I love Triple H and Seth Rollins is nothing new. So I figured I'd throw out Eddie too.
Well, Eddie Kingston all those moves. Like Steven said.
That's fine. Again, I don't like he doesn't have the right, and that's the whole thing with him and Punk, and the whole thing with Bryan Danielson. It's just like he doesn't have that wrestling body type, but I just like again his promos, again the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, I think is more sexy than just like, oh, you have an 8-pack. I'm like, that honestly that does nothing for me.
Yeah. The auburn hair, the tat, and the thong. Teenage Joho lost his
Yeah, no.
mind.
Absolutely.
And I want to give it all to you. Yeah, right on. I'm right here for you.
Way to go, Joe.
Well, at least we
And
do know
sorry in
yours.
advance for all your carpal
Oh, this show's going off the rails.
Oh, it's been off the rail. That's what we need. That's how we like to do it.
That's how we like our happy hours.
So let us know in the chat who your pro wrestling crush is. We've spent
Give us some. I want like obscure ones. 'Cause honestly, Trish, Lita, like me, my Eddie Kingston's the interest, like the weird one. Like, what's your weird? There's something about them. You're just like, oh, I like it. I want it.
who's your
And-
weird.
Give me your weird crushes. Let's get weird.
Let's put it all on the internet.
But it's just like to me, Eddie's not weird, but I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, kids. Whatever turns you on, I'm here for it. I support you.
Fair. So, Nikki, this has been a very interesting start to the show.
I love it. Again, I can talk couples crushes all day,
I know.
but we need to get into the.
But
you
we're
know,
talking wrestling all day, which
Yeah.
is fine. That's why we're here.
that's what we do.
So, Nikki, we normally open with this segment. I said it's a very Nikki-centric
I
show
know all of me all the time.
All
You're
Nikki.
welcome.
all the time. So, we're going to kick it back
Oh, wait, I'm gonna get my sticky note up.
for our segment that we normally open the show with. But we're going to kick it back to our non-kayfabe Nikki's News. Nikki!
Oh, so usually I say every week that we have some sad news for Nikki's news, but we got all my Nikki's news today is positive. I think
Yeah,
so.
depending on how, yes.
I think it's positive. So, Sam's best friend Tony Khan did some things.
Hmm.
So he finally came to a mutual agreement to let. No, I'm doing the other one first. To your picture. Sorry. So Malakai Black is now a free agent. His contract expired on February 9th. He is now a free agent. He can do whatever he wants. Apparently, there's no clause that he has to wait 30, 60, 90 days. So, I don't know. Thinking he might be showing up on SmackDown soon.
There is the storyline going with Chad Gable is trying to, quote unquote, master the dark arts. So,
And
what?
Malakai Black and Selena Vega have a wrestling school called the Dark Arts. And Selena has been moved to SmackDown. And then Chad Gable is going on, his thing to the Dark Arts. So is there going to be a montage of him going to Malakai? Is he going to go back to Alistair?
Like going back to the school to try and learn.
Yeah, going back to learn to do all these things. I don't know. And then all of Alistair, Malakai, Tommy's Instagram has just been Muay Thai fighting because he has that Dutch Muay Thai background. So it's is he gonna teach Chad Gable Muay Thai? Because I'd be really into watching that. But Black is no longer an AEW contracted wrestler. He's free to go. I think we're all just kind of waiting for him to emerge. Again, wrestling couples.
They literally emerge with the
literally
chair.
Also wrestling couples, the two of them. If you watch their blog, it was called A to Z, and they have 12 cats, and they just fed cats together. It was the cutest fucking thing in the world. Anyway, I digress.
So yes, let us know in the chat. What are you thinking about Malakai Black? How quickly can we see him in WWE? Or is there somewhere else you want to see him go? To me, I'm excited. I think definite missed opportunity in AEW for him. He debuted and had, we talked about this on previous shows, he had that debut with Cody and could totally, it seemed like he was skyrocketing to the top of the AEW roster and then nothing really happened. So to me, I'd like to, they just dropped the ball. I thought he was a main event talent that was just fumbled in AEW. And even with the current roster, I can name that he's a bigger star than probably 90% of the roster that is getting pushed right now and in AEW. So very disappointing there with that run, but I do see some opportunity too for him to maybe interact with Cody in WWE, which would be interesting. Again, and there was talk before he left, the Drew McIntyre Royal Rumble. He was the runner-up, so to speak. He was the person that they had pegged potentially.
It was between the two of them. And I think that's the thing. I think obviously incredible NXT run. A Triple H run NXT. He comes up to main, Vince doesn't know what the fuck to do with him. Then he left or got released, whatever the happenings were. Then he came back, right? Then he came back and left again. And then he goes to AEW. Tony Khan doesn't know how to book him. Then go back, because Papa H is in charge of Maine, go back to the person that knew how to book you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, some people are just good at booking certain.
I just feel there was old NXT, on whatever NXT documentary. He was doing, it was Triple H and Black doing when he does the coffin up entrance, and he was going through that. Triple H was so hands on with him of how he wants this to look, and I feel like Triple H gets him, put him back somewhere where Triple H can make him the star that he fucking is.
Lisa said a weird one, Alistair Black. That's one of her crushes.
No, I get it. There's just it's not oh my god, he's gorgeous. Blah, blah. This podcast, but there's just something about their energy, their gravitas, the way they're carrying themselves that you're just drawn into it. And again, watching him with Selena Vega, I'm just oh my god, they're the cutest because he's so tall and she's so tiny, and I just love them together. and they have 12 cats.
Well, Steven's bringing it back to wrestling, saying another
Yeah.
example of Tony saying a wrestler just to happen.
Oh no, I made my sticky note too big. I'm stuck.
Oh no.
It just took over my whole screen. Okay,
Oh.
sorry. Crisis averted.
So, Nikki, from Aleister Black or Malakai Black, what else do you got for us for this week?
Yes, so Undertaker and Michelle McCool were on this ESPN show this morning. Wake Up, Rise Up, something. I don't know ESPN shows. I didn't write it down. They were on this ESPN show. They're promoting LFG, which is the new show that's on A&E that debuts on Sunday. That they're like, oh, it's never before. It's like Tough Enough. It's like a new version of Tough Enough, but they're saying it's never been done before. Same thing. But they were promoting the show, saying to watch on A&E, and then all of a sudden Triple H comes on in like the background on the Tron, and he's like looks like Zordon from Power Rangers. His face is so big, and then he basically was saying that, you know, last month, like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker came and thought they were executive producers, and they got one up on me, so like I'm gonna get one up on them. And then like Undertaker's like looking, waiting for something to happen, and so Triple H turns and he's like, "So Michelle, you're gonna be in the Hall of Fame," and she immediately just like starts bawling and like turns into Undertaker again. Wrestling couples, a weird one, but a loving one. All the stuff like blah, blah, blah. I can't go down a rabbit hole. But like she turns into him, she immediately starts crying. Apparently, Undertaker had no idea. He's like getting choked up because she's crying so much. But he's like, you know, it's long overdue, like the stuff that she did. And I think her being in the Royal Rumbles and maybe her being Undertaker's wife maybe kind of changes I think maybe changes the perspective of like, oh, she's getting it because she's the Undertaker's wife. But if you are looking like, or like early days of her and like cool, like whatever, like cool is, but her hitting, you know, the Styles class and her kind of being a little more aggressive or doing other moves. It's not like kind of take, because, you know, for her to do a Styles class back then was kind of a big deal because of what, you know, there were so many like, I'm just going to do a DDT and I'm just going to do a thing. Like, I think it was very different back then. And again, Triple H is that you kind of like was a trailblazer back then. Again, that's why she's on all the Royal Rumbles. But I think it's sort of like kind of overdue. There's maybe other women in that I think she kind of has more of a legacy.
So her official stats title, whatever you want to call it, she was I think it's 4-time champion. So she was a Unified Divas champion 2 times, Women's champion 2 times. So I think she was a 2 or 3-time type, anywhere from 2 to 4-time women's or Divas champion holder. So she a multiple-time champion. I remember most for the like cool stuff.
Yeah.
And not much beyond I can't remember a single like super memorable moment with her, but she was very consistent. I think you get to the point where we're in the Divas era, whatever you want to call it, with women's wrestling, where it's like her, Beth Phoenix. There was only a handful of really, really talented in-ring, like Natty was around for all that. And I think, she was tops at the time. And it's just, again, it's one of those things that, again, different eras, like different talents. And she's very good. Put her in a different era, might be a slightly different story. But again, it's about the time that you are coming up, and some people, it's just the right timing for everything. And she played her card right, and was good in the ring, and she was definitely one of the tops for her era. So I think definitely deserved.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, selfishly, I think Mickie James would still is another one I think I would put in over Michelle McCool in terms of accolades and contributions to the business. And I was kind of surprised, but again, definitely deserving. Not to crap on it. Definitely a great moment for her and a deserving moment. So really, really exciting. Do you have, put it out there for the audience, do you have a particular Michelle McCool memorable moment? What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the chat below.
I'm blanking on this so hard. Where's Mania this year?
Las Vegas.
Okay, I was like, maybe it's some place that like she doesn't. Because I agree with you, Mickie James. I think Mickie James is gonna come in and maybe do another run before she's inducted. But I think
I had that feeling.
I
too.
think of that.
Especially them showing her the other day.
Yeah, I think of that era. I think Michelle deserves it. Honestly, I would have put her in before. I crucify me in the chat, but like between Tori Wilson and Kelly Kelly, like I think she was more athletic and better in the ring than them.
Yes, agreed. So no, it's fair enough. It's fair enough. Again, I think a really good talent. Deserving, yes, for sure. I think there's again Mickie James. I'm just very on my high horse.
I know
Mickie
you're.
James, I think
Maybe she should have been your crush. She's not blonde.
No. Unbelievable. So, I don't know. Let's in the chat below. Nice special moment for Michelle McCool and the Undertaker as well. So
I know, because then the guy was like, "Oh, what do you think?" And he's like, "You're asking me to talk right now." He's like, "I built a 30-year legacy," and he's like, "You're asking me to talk. I'm choking up." And I was like, "Oh, he loves her." Anyway, move on.
You're so cute.
I can go all day, people.
I know. So, Nikki, we don't have. So that being said, we're gonna go into our actual kayfabe portion of the show. So we're gonna combine a little bit of. Again, it's the last week in wrestling, so a lot has happened in the last week. So from last Friday's SmackDown to the preview to tonight. So we're going to get to that shortly. But overall, 5 more qualified as of this show, which started at 6 Eastern for the Elimination Chamber. 2 men, 3 women have qualified. Still a couple spots open or left open. But let's catch you up on how some of the people earned their spot in the chamber. So, Nikki, like I said, 5 more have qualified. What are your thoughts on the Elimination Chamber contestants or participants so far?
Again, I don't think there's any surprises. I think I loved that Alexa Bliss came back last week. Or do you want me to talk about men's first? Because that's okay. So obviously we all lost our bananas when she came back to the Royal Rumble. I think putting her on SmackDown made sense. I think Candice LeRae was a perfect first opponent with her. I'm excited for her to be in the chamber. Don't think she's gonna win.
I loved, by the way, that new, even though it's the same finisher that basically Ludwig Kaiser does, like a DDT, because she always did the DDT to set Twisted Bliss.
Yeah.
So I love the Sister Abigail version of the DDT that she's doing as a finisher. Because that's perfect. Man, save Twisted Bliss for a moment, later on where, it's a high spot moment or something like that where it would be a little bit more beneficial, more impactful.
Yeah. And I don't know what, even of this version of Alexa, like obviously post baby stuff. And then being more with the Wyatt Bray thing that maybe you'd save Twisted Bliss for something, but I think at this point she doesn't need that right now. If she can just do that crazy, I don't know. I think it was so great. I love the little nod to Bray, and I don't know. We'll see how things go with all that, but I'm excited to see it. And I'm excited. I'm so excited for her to be back. I think it makes sense for her to be in the chamber. I think I don't necessarily love Bayley beating Lyra. Again, I'm not totally sold on Lyra, but if you want me to be sold on her, your new IC Women's Champion, don't have her job out to Bayley. There's a bazillion women on your roster. You could have fed someone else to Bayley.
Yeah, I agree. But the one thing I will say in defense of that is that if you're going to try and make it, it has to be an earned spot in the Elimination Chamber. I don't care about whoever, random person you're throwing in. Like, there's not that many women on the main roster.
Natty.
Throw in and be like,
Natty.
okay, Natty would have been a fair.
Natty.
I'll give you Natty, but other than Natty, there's really not much you could. I feel like you could just.
What does Natty do? Natty was
That's the only one. That's the only one. Okay,
I feel
I'll give
like-
you a Natty for Lyra trade off, but like, again, if you want to add prestige to everything, you're going to enter the shot. Have a shot at challenging for the world title. Yeah, there has to be some prestige.
You're introducing a new women's title.
Yes, I know, but it's the same thing. It's like
And it's
this
like,
is-
fuck the women's main
because
card.
because you're the women's intercontinental champion. You earned the right to challenge for another belt. Like the men's intercontinental title, you still challenge for the world title at times, just because you don't have a credible challenge.
Yeah, I get. It's just, if Lyra wasn't going to win, then she shouldn't have been in it. Again, maybe I just hold the men's IC title belt so close to my heart because that was the workman's horse. The workman's men's belt. Jesus Mary. I can talk, I swear. But it's just like Lyra's like, if you're looking at Chelsea and Lyra, what they're doing for their belts, like Chelsea's up here, Lyra's down here to me.
Okay, so drop it.
Say it.
Hated it.
But I get you want to put Bailey in. You could have better anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think Natty is a fair point, but then Natty's just came back, right? And they kind of.
Well, Natty's gonna Natty. Like Natty, she's not going up or down. She's just like, I don't know what's like. It's like homeostasis. It's just like she's just here. She's just this.
It's globally. Homeostasis is that Natty percent.
I love you so much. Oh God. But like she's not going up, she's not going down. Natty is just a constant.
It's very even.
Like I don't know what my arms are doing, but it's just like I don't right now.
So moving on to so you talked about the women's.
Yep.
With the men's, we saw Drew McIntyre, which I thought was a cool spot. The Claymore into the BFT in the triple threat was a nice touch. So Drew McIntyre also qualified, and we saw in the main event, which I think was a surprise of not many, Logan Paul take down Rey Mysterio. I'll be honest, I know
I was gonna say the same thing.
but the
so.
finishing move that his new finisher is actually pretty cool.
It
He does
is.
so many
And
cool
I hate
moves,
it.
and it's like,
I hate it.
what you're
I'm like,
thinking
you're-
about and why you, like,
Again, we always say separating the art from the artist and blah blah blah. Like he's so good in the ring, and I hate that he's so good in the ring because I don't like him as a person. But that's such a fun move. Like and just like I feel like I don't know, because he took the US belt off Ray. So like it totally like it makes sense to do it. And I was just like, again, because he's gonna do some flippy do or high spot off the chamber. I get why you're having him in it. I don't think he's gonna win. I might cry if he wins. Again, I get he does all the things, but I just don't want to like him.
No. Viva los Patos. But yeah, I mean, he put together another great match. He did the fall away slam from the top rope.
Yeah.
So he had just put together some really nice spots.
And when he did whatever, I don't know, X, Twitter, Insta, whatever, but he like said that he was like dedicating a lot of his time to WWE now. Again, I don't like him as a person, but like he's good in the ring, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
So overall, is there anyone else, everyone out there that you think should be in the Elimination Chamber? Did you want Rey Mysterio over Logan Paul?
No,
Did you want maybe Natty just to eat the pin?
yes.
Or is there someone else in this grouping? Say Heyman was on Logan's podcast. Fortunately, Wiseman is showing him props. Yeah, he knows that.
It's hard because he again like maybe a dirty term, but like he's also a carny. So I feel like he gets, and I don't like him. I don't want to like him, but it's just like again like him in that Roman match in Saudi it's good, and I'm just like, oh, I don't like you, but stop being good at the thing that I love. It's like it's hard. I'm like, oh, you suck as a person. But that moonsault was fun.
Yeah.
That frog splash on the announce table was amazing. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's how I feel.
Yeah, okay. So moving along, so Nikki, as we take away, because again, from Raw, there was a couple takeaways, but a lot of promos. Jay also called his shot, finally announcing Gunther as his opponent, which I think is to the surprise of not many.
Mhm.
Probably 3-1 odds that we all thought that he was going to challenge Gunther anyhow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do like
which
that.
you have to respect Logan Paul's work. Yeah,
I know. I hate it. I hate it. But I do briefly, because I know we weren't going to really talk about Jay, but I loved, like, again, them stopping his music, restarting it for everyone to eat again. Love that. But also, I loved how the camera angle was, because you just saw him eating and you didn't see his feet, and all of a sudden he dropped and there was Gunther. And I was like, chef's kiss all around. I love how they framed that. And of course, we knew it. I'm as much I love Gunther, I think he's definitely taking the belt off him at Mania. I think they have enough time. Like, you need to build Jay a little bit more. Again, he's over as fuck. The crowd loves him. There needs, again, like I said last week, and I was like, maybe he needs to learn a new finisher, a new move, a new submission. He needs something to pull out of the bag to take down Gunther. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah. It can't be a spear, right, Nikki?
It cannot be a spear, because I will cry forever.
So it takes us again up as we move along in the week towards something we don't often cover. NXT, one of the biggest stories of the weeks. One of the biggest free agents in professional wrestling right now. We talked about it potentially, I think, for the last couple of months. But Nikki, sometimes we talked about breakups earlier. Sometimes you just need to get away and need to get out. And sometimes you get into a new relationship and you just say, just wake me up.
Don't wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All the time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know.
Ricky Starks has debuted in NXT. Nikki, what are your thoughts?
Your song choice in that promo really threw me off.
Just wake me up when it's over.
When you said "wake me up," I was like, "Wake me up before you go," and I was like, "That makes sense." That's where my brain went. And any whoosies,
You're in a production meeting, but yeah,
these non-existent production meetings. And also Joe and I are talking about shitty spears, and then you just see Ricky Starks do a shitty spear. But anyhow, I love Ricky Starks.
love it.
Again, it's another guy that him on the mic, I'm drawn to. I want to hear more. Like when he was like, "Oh, this is where the best wrestle that they have," or whatever. Like the hottest wrestler, blah blah. And he's like, "Well, I'm the hottest free agent," and he did his little thing. I'm really gonna miss his AEW music. So
No, he said, will the revolution be
televised? And no, that's different, because he's like, you're asking if the revolution is going to be televised again. And he's like, well, I'm here, aren't I? And then he did this little thing. I'm really going to miss his AEW music. But again, he's so close with Cody Rhodes. You knew he was coming. As soon as, like, he cut the tie or Cody let him go, you knew he was showing up in NXT. And they're like, I love that the NXT shed started chanting Ricky Stark, because you're like, all right, like, I loved him in AEW. It's one of those bright spots there. And you're just like, oh, well, you're not doing it. And whatever the fallout that happened, apparently is the promo off between him and Lisa's boy that kind of like put him on the decline. But I think he's super good. Again, so charismatic on the mic. And I think the NXT upper card needs a little injection. So I think he's a perfect start there. I really like him, and like the Rochambeau. Again, like they were like, oh, you know his name, you know he's here, blah blah blah. I'm worried that I don't want them to change his name, but apparently because it happened so quickly, but like apparently Ricky owns Ricky Stark and owns Absolute. That's the trademarks. He owns those trademarks. So I'm hoping they stick to Ricky Stark in NXT. But I love this. And honestly didn't know what's happening because I feel like we watch NXT, nothing happens. When we don't watch NXT, something happens. And literally, after the show, he's like, Ricky Starks. I was like, we're not watching. And I had to like go to social media. I was like, what's happening there? And it's just like, I don't know. I think it's going to be I thought Ethan Page was going to be such a good fit for NXT. And I feel like he hasn't really done what I thought he would do. And I think, well, Ricky's really going to do.
Ethan's been doing good work too. I think he's his character development.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess in terms of Ricky Stark, how do you book him in WWE? To me, I think now that he's in NXT, he's at the right spot for him. Give him a year, but upper mid to top card, especially that debut he got, like in the crowd, the reaction, the way that they presented him. You have to continue with that momentum. The question is, do you thrust him right into the main event scene and push him closer to the main roster faster? Because again, his relationship with Cody, there's a built-in potential storyline there that you could use. I'd say post Cody losing the belt, right, to just keep credibility with people, and you can use that to give him a springboard on the main roster. So I guess how long? One, do you see him winning a belt in NXT within the next year? And which one?
I think obviously the easy answer when he can take the North American off Tony D'Angelo like tomorrow is what I really do like Tony D'Angelo. I think could he be Obafemi? I think so. I don't know if that really makes sense in the world of NXT right now. I'm not a huge fan of Oba, but again, he's their big, guy right now. I don't know, but I think like him and matches, him and Trick going against each other, I think would be super fun.
I don't know. I'll throw it out to our audience here. Everyone knows Ricky Starks. Where do you want to see him?
I'm gonna miss
How
that
quickly do you
music.
think he will be champion in WWE? Or in NXT in particular, since that's the first brand he's joined. But let us know in the chat below. Definitely an interesting time to see. Again, like you have Lexus King, you have he originated in WWE, so Sean Spears coming back.
Yeah, well, that was his
You have
AEW
Ethan
name.
Page. I think I'm missing another. That was an AEW crossover.
In NXT?
Well, I mean, again, technically, now this is, well, if you can count Jade, does Cody count? Like, so now there's 5.
Oh, Cody counts. I don't necessarily think. I know Ricky did like backstage stuff. There's like a clip of him and Ryback, and it's like, well. But again, he seems like such a baby now. He's probably such a baby back then. But like, I don't know. I think it's different. Like Cody coming back, Spears coming back, but like Jade and Ricky and Ethan Page never being in WWE feels different.
No, that's for sure. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So from one ex-AEW talent to quickly, we'll glance over. We're running short on time before SmackDown. Dynamite Takeaways or AEW Takeaways. 2 champions, or the champions, the trios title and the tag titles were both defended successfully. So, any thoughts this week on AEW
I didn't
Dynamite
realize.
Or head towards Grand Slam?
I didn't realize until Thursday that Dynamite was actually pre-recorded the day before. So we were watching it. We're like, don't they have to be in Australia? Like, what's happening?
Oh,
It was pre-recorded by a day. Also, a little shout out to Harley Cameron. Like that promo. I know she's never taken the belt off Mercedes, but like her promo when she was like trying to be like, blah, 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 and like her doing that was all fantastic. But when she got serious, like. I think she can. I don't think she's going to take the belt off Mercedes, but I think she's someone to definitely fucking watch for sure.
A definitely rising star in AEW.
Yes, and I'm just like, oh, and I'm just like, and I'm worried. I'm like, oh no, she's in AEW. She's going to be shining, and just like whatever. But speaking of quickly, the women's division shining. I said this to you, but on the AEW YouTube page, Renee Paquette, who I talk about girl crushes. Renee is probably my number one, to be honest. But she does this series
Oh,
called
really?
And I want to give it all to you. Yeah, right on. I'm right here for you.
Love it.
I fucking love Renee Paquette. But she does this YouTube show called Close Up, and she does these kind of more intimate interviews with the talent. And she did a 9.5 minute interview with Timeless Tony Storm, and it's hysterical. There's all these little cuts of her, like they're in a movie theater, of course, like an old timey one in LA or wherever, and she's walking around. She comes out of like a photo booth and she's like fixing her face, which is hysterical. And then she's going through an old like Warner Brothers book, and she's like, bad kisser, bad kisser, bad kisser. She walks into the movie theater proper. She's like, should we masturbate in here? And I lost my mind. And then she sits down and has like an interview with Renee, and Renee's like asking her about like how she feels about you were gone for 6 months. How do you feel about the women's division? And then she was like, oh, we have a great women's division, but she's like, we need to do more. She's like, we need to kick down the door, shit in the bed, and tell them that we're here. And I was like, get a girl. And then she was like, how are you gonna, we were matched with Mariah on Saturday, however that correlates to anybody. She's like, what are you gonna do? And she's like, I'm gonna rip Mariah's tits off. Okay.
I think we were gonna have that time.
That should be Maine, because they're in Australia. Tony's Australian. It should be Maine, because that's really the biggest storyline going in. I think it's probably gonna be Mox and Claudio and Cope and
Is it weird that I say this?
Jay,
that
but also Jay's Australian, so I don't know.
the most
No, he's
over
New
person
Zealand. I
in
take that back.
AEW is someone named Tony, the Tony Bucks. Is that
No,
right?
how dare
That's
you?
interesting. But yeah, Steven's trying to Puppet Monet is more over than real Monet. Yeah, that Puppet
Steven, I could not agree more.
Monet.
Could not agree more. But I don't know. I just feel like, do I care about the MJF Dustin match? No. Did I love MJF doing this? Fun. But then the Hangman MJF, I was like, oh, this is it's not a feud for not the belt. I don't care.
Yeah, again, the trios are defended. It's like
Let's defend all the belts that everyone forgot that was a thing.
This is also the face Wheeler Yuta makes after he gets a date or
It's sexual, baby.
Stop. I can't. Don't do that when I'm drinking. I don't know. So I'm gonna record Grand Slam, but I was like, it's gonna be on at 2 a.m. here. If we're lucky.
It's gonna be late. It's gonna be a late one. Well, speaking of which, Nikki, we are running a little bit late. We got one more topic to get through as we get to SmackDown, because again, last week on SmackDown, we did see a return. You know, I love returns.
Love a good
I love
return.
returns, debuts, all about it. So we saw the debut, or the return of Solo Sikoa. Pops up. The Problem has returned. He just pops up for Cody Rhodes and says, "Me, hi."
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the end.
Solo Sikoa has returned, Nikki, and he will be speaking tonight, hopefully.
Dun.
So, what's next for Solo Sikoa?
Sorry, Steven's coming. It made me laugh.
Hold on.
Steven!
Yeah, very disappointing.
Samoa Spike is gonna him.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, Steven, you
You done it. It's like Beetlejuice.
hit the old Samoan spike on the as people are chiming in. But yeah, what's next for Solo Sikoa?
I don't know. Is he gonna have a match with Cody at Elimination Chamber? I don't think we have another Saturday night's main event before Mania. Again, I'm sure someone will correct me down
I
below.
think
Do we? I thought the next one was like closer post Mania. But I'm like, I really want to see Solo Cody? Or is that like a main event? Because for Elimination Chamber, I assume it's kind of like Royal Rumble. We're going to open with the women's chamber, have 2 random matches in between, and then end with the men. So
Yeah,
are you
the
going to for me, I'd rather have that Tippy.
May 24th, I think, is the next one.
Oh, yeah, so we got time. Thanks.
Yeah, January 25th, May 24th. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, like, I don't then, Joe was saying, like, put him in the Elimination Chamber. I'm like, what qualifying match would there be for him? I guess, again, there's so many people you can feed him to.
Joe's saying he's getting in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So.
But you said tonight they're just saying he's addressing the crowd.
It seems like that. That's how they promoted it, is that he'll finally speak, because he didn't speak the last time. Then he comes back. Now there's a lot also on the same SmackDown. Now the other thing to look at is there is a qualifying match, another qualifying match, because there's still a couple spots open. Elimination Chamber. Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman and Damian Priest. So there's going to be, again, what happens if, Jacob gets in? There is that whole, the question of, is there going to be some tension between them?
I think Braun's eating that pin, regardless if it's Jacob or Priest. I think Braun's eating that pin.
Well, I mean, again, it's Valentine's Day. There's going to be some question marks. Relationship. We talked about breakups. Is a breakup coming? I don't know. I know that Jacob loves Solo. But is it time for it to come to end? I don't know.
But is that like weirdly like your Mania match? Is that like open like night 2, Solo versus Jacob? And they just feed Solo to Jacob?
Which would be all for Solo. It could be the fall of Solo.
I know. I feel the poor little pickle.
But yeah. And then finally, as we close up here, as I touched on it earlier, we're finally going to see actually the rematch. Tiffany Stratton finally defending against the woman she cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on, Nia Jax. I think we both.
Tiffany's going over.
Yeah, it just, this match to me should have been a PLE match, maybe Elimination Chamber.
Do you think somehow does Charlotte get involved?
Mm-mm.
Or do you think maybe she'd be like on comms or like watching?
Yeah, maybe on commentary or something like that, or it just shows up after
like
she wins to finally call the shot.
Yeah, because we didn't, again, correct me.
Actually, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. I'm calling it right now. I think Tiffany wins, gets a decisive victory over Nia, a hard-fought victory, and then Charlotte comes out and announces in some fashion that she's challenging her. But it's because I expected a lot. I think this match has so much story behind it, and to throw it on a random SmackDown is disappointing to me. But again, it's WrestleMania season, so that every PLE or every show is generally for the next 2 months relatively going to be pretty stacked with whether it's talent, promos, or matches. There's going to be a lot of great wrestling, so I get it. Things get lost in the shuffle, but this match to me, this is one of the biggest storylines in the last year. To not give this a proper, like, this should main event at the very least. This SmackDown. If it doesn't, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I think you give Nia maybe too much credit. I don't. This match does nothing for me. Honestly, agree with Steven. Maybe you don't have Charlotte on comms. I
She
don't.
says they're not gonna have her in commentary and have her booed the whole time. She'll show up.
Damn, they're not again. She's not a face. Stop trying to make her a face. I don't. Again, it does nothing for me. Again, Tiffany should win. Maybe like, does she get her down and do the prettiest moonsault?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't care. I
But
really don't. As much as I love Tiffy, I want Tiffy Charlotte Mania. I don't care.
fair enough, Nikki. So as we wrap up our portion of the show here, now becomes your portion. So we're going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to throw it in the chat here. Oh, I hope I did that right. I think I pinned it. If I start, I think I pinned it. I'm not sure if it really does, but hopefully it does. So the idea is, in the description, there's a call-in link. In the chat now, there is a call-in link. Call in, let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about wrestling this week. All of our topics. Ricky Starks has debuted in NXT. You saw titles defended and retained in AEW. You have AEW Grand Slam coming up tomorrow at 2:30 in the morning Eastern Time, whatever that is to you. You also have 5 wrestlers entering or qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. That happened. Who's your crush? It's Valentine's Day.
I want
Who's
your crushes.
That's the
I
volleyball
want your
Thursday
favorite
episode.
couple.
Nikki. tell
Do you
us what
crush
want.
on Nick more than me? Probably everyone loves Nick. Look at that face.
Mm.
Is your little chicken tender slut?
That's what you are. And I love you for it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I just want you to know that I love you. Too. Well, all right, let's go to the chat. Let me get off some comments here, Nikki. Get through. Let me make sure I get caught up on all the comments here. Hold on. And let's make sure we pin everything in the chat. Joho. Jacob wins. Solo calls out Jacob. And they're both in Elimination Chamber. So, interesting. I'm curious on why. So Solo called out Jacob after he wins, but you'll have to explain this. Joe, I'm going to open the phone lines. You'll have to explain it further because why I want to know why he's going to call out Jacob after he wins. Unless you're telling me, and maybe I'm giving you this out, unless you're telling me that he's going to try and say, I'm the tribal chief, I'm going to take the spot because you earned it for me. Like, just like you did kind of with the tag titles, I can buy that. So I'll give you that out if that's what you're telling me. But if you have another theory, Joe, I want to hear it. Because it's very, very interesting. Yeah, let me get through. Next one is May for Sarah's main event. Let's see. I already got this one. This is a good one though, Steven. Puppet Monet is definitely more over than real Monet. All right. That being said, let me get to it. Hold on. So, phone lines are now open as I find the drop because I missed the drop. There's so many now. Too many to get through. Here we go. All right. Let's hit it. All right, Nikki. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So we have to go. I think we always love ladies.
Love our
We
ladies.
have to start with the ladies. And I need to know, before we start, Nikki, are you a believer?
I'm a believer.
You made me a believer. You break me down, you build me a believer.
Lisa!
Lisa.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I hate this flipping holiday.
I know.
I'm sorry. You don't need a day to celebrate your love. Don't need it.
Agreed.
It's called your anniversary. It's called every flipping day. You don't need one day for somebody to go out and get you candy and roses. It's every day. Sorry.
Get them both at the same time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you, Nick.
Did it. We did it. Successful.
Oh.
Everything from here is just gravy for the show. So.
How you guys doing?
What are you thinking?
I'm drinking water. Nothing special.
Nope.
What am I thinking? So I saw a theory. I can't remember if it was Instagram or Facebook, but somebody was saying, I like this theory a lot. And it goes along with your theory, Nick, of the new Shield with Rollins and McIntyre and oh my God, who else? I forgot.
KO.
Yes. So it's AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan teaming up and either becoming like the new Judgment Day or just like doing their thing, going against the Judgment Day. But I saw that, I was like, because before I guess AJ got hurt, Finn and Liv and AJ were together going after the Judgment Day. So that's to me, I thought that was a very interesting twist of getting them back together. And that's either, again, how Judgment Day ends or a new Judgment Day starts with Finn as the leader, with AJ and Liv. Who knows? But I was intrigued.
Could it be, because they have hinted at this breakup for a little while now, could it be something along the lines of Dom and Carlito and, well, I guess Liv's not, but I guess maybe Raquel, like they've been staying together kind of clicky. So maybe that's the group. And then, yeah, to your point, like that's the old, so Lisa, so that's the old, I mean, well, not old, but the two leaders of the Bullet Club, right? So
yeah.
Multiple leaders of the Bullet Club. So you could maybe have some sort of, there's been talk about that for years, like reformation, like they've kind of hinted at it and teased it in Royal Rumbles and things like that in the past. So,
Well, that would be the thing to me. I want Liv to run off with Finn, but like, could AJ come in and take over the Judgment Day like he did when Finn left for NXT? AJ took over the Bullet Club. Like he was AJ. Finn started it. AJ was the next in line. But no, it's interesting because again, like I know they threw back to there was that pairing of AJ, Finn, and Liv.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Interesting point, Lisa. So what else you got for us here?
Well, going back to the Valentine's Day theme here and, crushes. Like I said, if you guys don't know my crushes, then we can't be friends. But
Well, I know, but you're going to tell our people. You're going to tell the world.
Lisa, the world needs to know. And I know that this list of Trish Stratus, Kelly Kelly, Lita, Sable, and Tori Wilson, I know that some of them are on this list, but let us know for all the fans that are listening in now who your crush is. And
I've been a number one Edge head from the very beginning. I'm an Edge girl. Love him. Don't like the fact that he's at AEW, but
No one does.
nobody likes AEW. Who likes AEW nowadays?
I might argue that you need to cope with it.
Good one, Nick.
Look what you did, bro.
That was a good joke. That was a perfect joke. And she just voted down.
Hated it.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, but Edge definitely. The day I met him, I lost it. I don't know how the hell I was still standing when I met him. Like, because I was literally first in line. We met him when his book came out, and we went to this bookstore out in Pennsylvania, and literally got there hours before anybody else showed up. Standing in line first to meet him. And I literally don't know how the hell I didn't fall over and just like make a fool of myself.
Mhm.
But I survived. I survived meeting Edge. But remember how, what was it, last week or around Royal Rumble when I was like, Edge's moment when he came back and he went for that hot second, he was Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
So that's literally probably one of my favorite moments from Rumble, because it's literally, he comes out, he's a rated R superstar, he's going up to the fans, screaming and everything. And for that hot second, when he comes out of the smoke, it's
Yeah.
Adam Copeland. And I started, every time I watch it, I start crying.
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry.
Lisa, I know, because I had to do it. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Listener Lisa confesses her love. This is the headline. Because Lisa's a writer, we have to write headlines on this show.
Yes.
So,
It's not confessing when I've been saying it my entire life. It's just some people didn't know. Now you all know.
So yes, Lisa, as you go on, I didn't mean to interrupt your
No, you're fine. You're fine. No worries.
your affinity.
My affinity.
Copeland. As
Copeland.
folks are known.
I can tell you his birthday. I can tell you a lot of things about him. I'm that scary freak. But after him,
I had to throw that in.
Oh God.
Go on.
but yeah, once he left, I was like, all right, who's gonna be my new Edge? And even to this day, I don't have a new male Edge. I have a female Edge, and that's Rhea Ripley,
Yes.
the true queen of the ring of WWE.
Agreed.
Mm.
I love her. The work she does, and everything she's been doing it's gold. So very excited for her.
Lisa, just for you and all of our audience here.
Is your little chicken tender slut?
Yeah. I'm trying to do the black lips like her because she's gorgeous, and the black lips on her, oh my God. I can't figure it out for the life of me, but maybe one day. Who knows?
Fair enough. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. I don't think I'd like you with black lipstick, babe.
I don't think it'll work.
I don't think it would work. I think
It would disappear on you with the beard.
you don't have the
Yeah,
skin tone.
It would disappear. But then I could be really dark like this.
Rest in peace.
He has eyeliner, not lipstick.
I know, but we'll do it with the eyeliner. At least Rhea does the eyeliner too.
She does.
So exactly.
Okay, we'll try.
I'll bring my black lipstick and my black eyeliner the next time I'm over.
Marilyn Manson.
No,
Oh
nope,
God.
The whole like,
nope. We can't talk about him.
oh,
No.
another one.
Nope, he's another one we can't talk about. Yeah,
Hell to the no.
People be gross.
Goodbye. Mwah, and good night, bang.
How dare you?
It's off the show. But that being said, Lisa,
Yes.
really good. What else you got for us?
I don't know. I don't have my notes. I don't have anything on me, so I'm just
Well, just promote
going from
yourself.
the heart. But you know, WrestleMania is shaping up. I'm very excited. Elimination Chamber is actually shaping up pretty good too. So we'll see what happens, and it's gonna be, I guess, fun. I don't know.
Well put. Lisa, pleasure as always. Love having you on. We are believers. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa, our resident author.
I love you so much.
If you're a Lisa believer,
We are.
put it in the chat. OG from the beginning.
Yes. A lady OG.
Lady OG.
I know.
Man, it's tough to get all those. You know, it's tough to get listeners in general, so we appreciate you all joining us in. We just feel absolutely blessed.
All that said, though, incredible team effort, and I feel so lucky and blessed to have this opportunity and be here and be part of this. Everyone here, give yourselves a round of applause. This is unbelievable. Thank you, guys.
Well done. Well done, ladies and gentlemen.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag
Blessed.
Exactly. So, Nikki.
Yeah.
We got people on the line. Phone lines are open. Feel free to call in. Click the link. It's in the chat. I think I pinned it in the chat, but it's in the chat.
Huh?
Streamer link. It's also in the description of the show.
Yeah.
So if you want to chime in, let us know what you're thinking, what you're drinking about professional wrestling this week. We want to hear from you. But Nikki,
yes.
First.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
Steven!
Hello, everybody. Happy Hammer Valentine's Day.
I love it. As soon as I saw it come up, I was like, perfect.
You knew it couldn't happen any other way.
Agreed.
To counter what Lisa said a little while ago, no, you don't need a specific day to celebrate your love, but you do need a day after which you can get half-price chocolate. So
True. I'm here. Half price M&Ms. I'm here for it all day.
I have no shame. They need to clear the shelves for those chocolate eggs and stuff. So
Exactly.
more
Helping the cause, Steve.
more than happy to help them accomplish their goal.
Oh man, do we need to do an Easter special now too?
Well, next would be St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, St. Patrick's
My
Day.
high holy day. Steve, mark your calendar.
I already got it marked.
Sir.
Fair. Steve, what are you thinking? What are you drinking?
Oh, what am I thinking? To go back and about the Tony's in the mood of in the mode of releasing people. Finally, I heard actually just before the show that one of those people, actually that they're pretty close, hasn't happened yet, but I haven't checked since the show's been on, is Ray Phoenix.
Yes.
And let's hope that happens soon, because that's just been ridiculous. What I mean, also, what he had done with Miro, and Miro's finally free, and the other guys just paying him to sit at home and wrestle.
We actually had a fun spot planned about that. We didn't do it. Yeah, Miro was also granted his release. I mean, he was another one that kind of got lost in the
Did
shuffle.
I not cover that in my?
No.
Oh, we skipped over that.
We
But
skipped
no,
over it.
Steven, that's it. But apparently, like, they released Miro and Ricky, and Malakai's lapsed. But apparently, someone backstage, I don't know if it was Fightful or PW Insider, but their people backstage were pushing Tony to release Phoenix.
Well, the only thing I would say about the Phoenix thing is that, like, I get it makes sense. I just hope, part of me was kind of getting excited because they are giving Penta such a good push right now, that give him a year or 6 months, whatever, to establish himself by alone before Phoenix comes, and like make it some sort of feud. Like he can't overcome some group of 3 or 4 people, which makes him look stronger, and then Phoenix comes in and looks a little bit stronger too. But again, we were talking about the releases that happened on Saturday, and like I mentioned, I thought the tag division took a big hit. So if he's going to come in and they're going to throw them in the tag division, could be such a phenomenal unit for WWE, especially now that it's a 3-hour show. So that'd be really exciting. Sorry, Steve. What else are you thinking about? Either Ray Phoenix or anything else?
Yeah, no. If he could get over there and they could be added to what I'm thinking is going to be the ladder match for the title for the SmackDown tag titles, and add them to Street Profits and Machine Guns and DIY. Oh my God, take my money.
Seriously.
All right. The
Michelle. What about Pretty Deadly and am I missing somebody else in that?
Pretty Deadly there.
Well, Pretty Deadly.
But again, like they're there to. We know they're there to take the pin, but or to do. I think they can do the high spots again. I think I agree with Stephen. I think you're going to have a big multi-man tag match again.
Right, and now that R-Truth is on SmackDown, find somebody to pair him up with, so he can do his comedy spots. So the Hall of Fame, I was a little bit surprised. I mean, not that Michelle McCool doesn't deserve it. I just thought there were people ahead of her that were going to get this nod first. I mean, they really only induct one female act on the main Hall of Fame card a year. That should change, but for now it is what it is. And unless they're going to change that this year, I really thought it was going to be Mickie James with not only Mickie back in the fold on the Tough Enough 2025 show, but also with her husband as the SmackDown GM. And plus, remember, I mean, last time she was a regular, I mean, it ended pretty badly, and they seem to be, in the habit of make goods, as I've said before. Another one I noticed was now all of a sudden Demolition is on the alumni page. So I have a feeling that's coming too, is their announcement for Hall of Fame.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So I think what's kind of been said is like Triple H is kind of really good at mending fences, because again, like Demolition was in like that lawsuit with them about the CTE stuff, and I feel like now that Vince is gone, Triple H is sort of bringing like the old people. I don't want to say old people. That's not the term I want to use, but older acts to come back. And I'm hoping. I said this earlier in the show. I'm hoping Mickie comes back and kind of does another run, a better end to her run, because I feel like she deserves that. And I think like Michelle's done wrestling. She'll do her cute little I'm wrestling my Uggs in the Royal Rumble, but I feel like Mickie can come back and do another maybe run like the same with like Trish is doing. So I hope maybe post Mania, post SummerSlam, she goes on another little run, and then next year is more Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah.
Not more Hall of Fame worthy. That's not the right term, but like. Yeah, but I just feel like she can do and give more, and I feel like she would want to do more.
Yeah, no, she has like a lot left in the tank, and she's obviously a better performer than Michelle McCool, but she could probably still do it. Which I don't want to like I'm curious, like, but again, some people just have like there's certain wrestlers that can do it. Like again, he's injured a lot, but like Punk can do it into his 40s, and some other guys can't. Like. Because of whether their body type, the way they wrestle, like a million other things. And it's just, she's just been a solid performer for the last 20 years. So, I think she's the type of performer, Mickie James, I think that, to that point where she probably just wants to have another, like one last.
I think she wants one last rodeo. Like, have her come out. Like, I want her to kick some people. I feel like she deserves another one more shot.
And that's fair. And to go back to the point about Triple H, smoothing things over. I mean, he's done that even back in the Vince era. He smoothed things over with Bruno, so Bruno could take his rightful place in the Hall of Fame. Oh, my older generations of my family were thrilled with that, by the way. He smoothed things over with Ventura and also with Savage's family.
Yeah.
And obviously with Punk, we're seeing that now. So, I mean, I think he's got a talent for diplomatic relations. And, I'm assuming the same thing has happened now with Demolition, that now they're on the WWE website at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
After, many years of legal wranglings.
Yeah. No, I think he just understands that, like, it's so stupid. They were like, what's best for business? But I feel like Triple H kind of has that thing. It's like, no, like, we're bringing everyone kind of back in, and he doesn't hold the, like, stupid, the grudge between Vince and Bruno. Like, girl, I think it's just like, all right, Vince is not here anymore. This is a different culture. And I feel like, obviously, that's why he got Punk back in the first place.
Listen, if anyone knows how to smooth things over, it's someone who was literally sleeping with the boss's daughter. If anyone knows how to play the politic game and smooth that over, tell me someone better than Triple H. Like, come on.
They've been married since 2003. Do not besmirch my favorite wrestling couple.
He's probably just like, he loves you.
Lord.
Couldn't resist. I told you I was gonna have a bunch of drops for the show. You didn't believe me.
I think we all believed you.
Oh, that Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, Bruce Pritchard. Steve, before I let you go, let's go.
I'm sure they have the full roster for LFG, but I got one. If they're going to continue with this another season, I got one person that they should have on this show or sign to an NIL deal. And I had forgotten about all of this. And I don't know if they have, I don't know if they have an age minimum, but Izzy Marino. Do you remember Bailey's little fan?
Yes, it's how he is. Oh, God.
She's now not only a wrestler, she's the champion of Thunder Rosa's federation.
Right.
Yeah, I know she was.
I believe that's hers, but she's whoever owns that federation, she's the champion of it down in Texas. I mean, she's still only 17, and I don't know if WWE has a minimum age before they sign somebody, but I would think she has a bright future, and there's already a backstory coming in.
Yeah,
it makes me feel so fucking.
No, I love that because
I think their minimum's 18.
They'll probably sign, even if she has a year left. They'll probably wait and
oh my God,
because the connection there, like WWE does that.
When Sasha ripped the wristband off her and threw it at Izzy's face. I feel 4,000 years old.
But yeah, well, welcome to my world. But but yeah, so if they're gonna do a season 2 of this, then that's a name I think they should consider. If you're listening, guys, and they're not listening, but
Steve, we have a lot of listeners.
Oh my God, Uncle Howdy might be out there.
I know Uncle Howdy might listen. He may get it the right people.
Yeah. Do it, Paul.
Get it done. You're talking to him right now. Steven, say it again.
Do it, Paul. I mean, come on. Steph let you do that thing in the coffin with the mannequin.
Was that Steph or was that Vince? I don't know. That's very questionable.
Well, Steph permitted it to happen.
That's debatable, too.
No.
It's also debatable.
She got choked out by her father a week before her fucking wedding. I don't think she really had a choice about anything.
Yeah, but she beat the Big Show with a guy with one leg, too.
Wrestling, ain't it crazy?
Fair enough. Steve, always a pleasure.
Happy VD, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day. Well done. Well done. He did a double entendre in there. Steven, you, sir, are cut off.
Can I just announce right now that our good, dear, loving friend Joho is going to call in, and Nick has been touting about this entrance music.
Well, listen, let me just explain this. When you're an OG from the beginning, like Lisa
Stan
is an OG from the beginning, Steven's an OG from the beginning. When you're a regular, you get an intro, and it's been long overdue. So, Nikki,
I'm ready.
I need you to do
Again,
this.
he doesn't show me. Why am I doing
We haven't. So Steve's got the Stevettes. I think
I'm
we're
just
calling
like,
them the Stevettes.
no, it's the Stevenette.
Stevenettes. That's what we're calling the Stevenettes.
Well, that's
dancers.
Steve and I had a debate about this, but I'm calling them the Stevenettes.
We're calling them the Stevenettes. So Steve's
So
got
every-
the Stevenettes.
So
Lisa, and I could argue this person is Lisa's number one believer.
believer.
So Lisa has her believer. I don't know. We have to figure
What
this
is
out because I
happening
don't
right
know.
now?
I don't know what his followers will be called. This is So this is up to debate. We'll discuss this at a later time. But I want you to go like this. I want you to beat your heart.
Okay.
Like this. And you go, oh, Joe. Go. See,
I know what's happening.
All right, well, she doesn't do it well, but we got other people that'll do it well. That's why we have backup singers.
Joe!
Hey guys, that was phenomenal. So apparently, I'm calling it now. My followers are going to be called the ho-hos.
I was going to call them the Joe-hos, but
They're the ho-hos.
The ho-hos. Okay, we're calling them the ho-hos.
And so thank you to Steven. I can always appreciate his perspective in aging all of us with that Bailey kid reference. Thank you, Steven. Really, really needed that. That was phenomenal. With that, and happy Valentine's Day as we celebrate the death of Saint Valentine in like 274. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and make tonight quick. First off,
it's tradition. We just do tradition.
So Al Snow needs to be into the Hall of Fame. I'm calling that now.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Al Snow. Love it.
Yes. Al Snow needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Al, we love you. Despite what Mick Foley says about you, we love you. Because we all know Foley is God. Anyway, so wanted to make tonight kind of quick. Are we excited for this LFG, which is really Tough Enough 2.0? Because I don't know if I am. I'm really not. Tough Enough kind of blew up. And I don't know if I'm excited for this LFG crap.
It's a little kayfabe-y. Like, it breaks kayfabe a lot. So, like, I get that component of it where it's like, eh. And, like, there's not been many, to be fair. Like, The Miz is probably the most successful Tough Enough person.
Yeah, no, he is. That's you can't argue that. I mean, next to Maven, who had the opportunity to knock out the Undertaker in a Royal Rumble, which, you know, kudos to that kid. But yeah, I'm not excited for this. I'm sorry.
What about John Morrison? Not Johnny Nitro, whatever.
That's the first time I heard that name in like years, Nick. Sorry.
If you're talking about wrestling, like having a career, not as successful as Miz, but having a career and being on Tough Enough, he's probably one of the most successful. Next to the Miz, probably the most successful one. Who else?
All right. I'll give you that one. But I just wanted to see where you guys were with that one. I'm looking forward to Elimination Chamber, and I agree with Punk. Like, I know, yeah, John should be calling the shots, but this one's tough. with John just inserting himself. And here's I'm glad I brought this up. This reminded me, because last week I mentioned that John should win 17, and I caught hell for that. John win, even Lisa, Mrs. Joho, and yes, I am her number one believer.
There we go.
She's shaking her head, ready to throw herself across the bed and strangle me for saying that. John should win number 17, because we have, this generation speaks of Rick with reverence and all the respect and love that we have for Rick. Number 16, right? Great. What does that next generation have? They don't have that. So it's I think to give back to the business, you give John 17. That way the 10-year-old can say, I was there when.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, I need to win 17 so I can shake 18's hand.
Also that, because records are made to be broken. We're still waiting for DiMaggio's record to be broken. Lou Gehrig's record was broken by Cal Ripken. We're still waiting, like I said, for DiMaggio's record to be broken. We're still waiting for someone to win 10 championships and beat Yogi. But this record's gonna get broken. I hate to break it to everyone, including Mrs. Joho, who was like 5 feet away from me. He's winning 17.
I'm not.
I know, but it's gonna happen. I'm calling it now. He's winning 17. Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Can I agree with you? He will break 17, but I don't want it to be at WrestleMania.
All right. But obviously, he's got to do it for.
I don't want him to win the Elimination Chamber either. Again, what they're saying is supposed to be Cody, John Cena. He's supposed to pass the torch of the baby face to the baby face.
Right.
I have no desire to see good guy Cody and good guy Cena. I feel like Nick talking about like heels and faces, because I don't really necessarily believe in that mantra. But I'm just like, she's married. But one of them needs to be a little healy in this. But like, I think it's hard, because I'm like, I get he's done so much, but I'm like, it's hard, because I'm like, yes, as a person, what you did to the business, do you deserve it? Absolutely. In this industry that's happening right now, I don't think it necessarily fits a narrative.
Yeah. I hear you, but I still, I'm a betting man. I'm putting my money down on John to win 17, and he's clearly got to do it before the end of the year. So where else does John Cena win number 17 other than WrestleMania at this point in the year? It's not happening at Rumble. If it doesn't happen at Mania, it's all of a sudden SummerSlam.
So there's no clarification on what belt he has to win, right? He has to win any world title. So that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be at WrestleMania for this reason. I'll say this. If you put it on a, let's just throw out Clash at the Castle.
Okay.
That will increase pay-per-view buys, PLE buys for that pay-per-view, which is a random show that no one gives a shit about, relatively, right? Compared to the big four.
Right.
So
okay.
That's where I'd say, yes, like you put the main event match as, whatever, Jey Uso, whoever the champion is, and John Cena for the belt at whatever the fall pay-per-view is after SummerSlam, or like 2 months after, or whatever they're calling Halloween Havoc, or whatever it should be, Halloween Havoc. Like, it gets instant buys, because that is the draw. Is he going to break the record? So you don't have to do it at WrestleMania when you already have the buys, because you have so many other matches that are big main event matches.
I see where you're going with that, and I actually agree with it. Okay, fair.
But
that makes sense.
Thinking what they did and what AEW did with Sting, he won the tag team belts with Darby, and then they relinquished and then did a tournament. Does in the later part, maybe post SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, he wins the belt and then relinquishes, and they do this whole big tournament to win the belt.
But isn't he going until January?
No, December. Apparently,
It was December. He said the end of this year. That's it.
So Survivor Series is normally though like the last. So I guess, but then why? Like I feel like you let him be champion until the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what, like September to October Survivor Series. November. November.
Survivor Series
Sorry.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, so you're talking like 3rd, 4th week of November. So yeah, like 2-month run where it doesn't look.
Yeah. All right, but my point still stands. Cena's winning number 17, and I know she's not happy with me right now. That's fine. I know no one, but he's winning number 17. So I'm gonna end with this, guys. Happy Valentine's Day, and screw you, Logan Paul.
Well, fair enough.
Although, happy birthday, babe.
Yeah, happy
thank you.
belated birthday.
Thank you. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye, babe.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Ho, the newest, the latest regular.
I'm gonna phone him off. No, I get it. It's hard. It's so like I agree with John. It's just like I get they're gonna give him 17, but I also kind of hate it. But also maybe I'm more again. Cena was never my guy. Ric Flair is more my guy. Triple H is more my guy. I don't know. But again, if they do like a Sting thing that they he wins it and relinquishes and we do a thing, I prefer that. I just don't.
I know. You don't want to see. You're a purist.
No, that's not a purist because I don't know. It's like all records are meant to be broken, and we blah blah blah. And I'm doing this to shake the hands of 18. And I'm just like,
I think the heel turn's coming.
No,
I told you this, and you didn't believe it.
No, I hope
the heel turn. It was coming. It was a rock-like heel turn.
Maybe I just believe so much in Bray Wyatt, and I don't know. Maybe that's a topic for another day. But the Firefly Funhouse is so iconic and feels so real and personal to me that he did do the thing. And if he did that now, it, honestly, to me, feel real disingenuous. I don't know. I can't. It's real to me, Dad.
It's still really you.
It's still real to me. I don't know.
It's been a fun one. There's a fun Valentine's Day. I could not think of a better way to spend Valentine's.
I don't know how we do anything.
Is it wrestling related? Then yes, we're in. So before you go, hit the like and subscribe. We got a bunch of people chime in the chat. There's a couple minutes before. We did a good job with
Get your snacks. Take your dog out. Take yourself out.
Oh, snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah, snacks are good. Snacks are good.
The drop is coming in.
You know, it's snack time, Nikki. Stone Cold's hungry.
Ordered a jalapeno burger, a chicken fried steak sandwich, a chili cheese dog with extra onions, French fries, tater tots, washed it down with 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, a shot of whiskey, a margarita, and a Bloody Mary.
Snack time.
That's so much in your stomach.
That's a pretty big snack.
Too old.
Yeah, that's a lot. But, Nikki, it's been a fun one. Let's get through some last comment. Joe, I kind of said in short time, Bray Wyatt characters. Yeah, he was game changing.
Abs. Oh, I can't even. We've talked about how much he meant to us, me, you.
Phenomenal.
Our age, with little.
Absolutely incredible, transcendent talent that was taken from us too soon. But like so many others in the wrestling business, unfortunately. So before you go, hit the like, If you're new to the channel, as people are chiming in, hit the subscribe button. We're here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, whatever that correlates to you. Every other Friday that's not Valentine's Day. So that being said, it's been a absolute fun one. We couldn't thank you enough. So we're going to take you out the same way we always take out, well, a slight variation of it because it is Valentine's Day and there's only one way to take us out with Nikki's, one of her 17 crushes that she couldn't narrow down to only Eddie Kingston, the one who has at least muscle mass that I think still exists.
Stop shooting my Eddie Kingston. I would not let you besmirch my
Every
Eddie.
bit of it. Every bit of it. So let's take you out with our not so CCO, Triple H. And ladies and gentlemen, happy Valentine's Day. We hope you find your person. We have found ours. And it's been a blast. So we hope you believe in love because we do too.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight. Another night without incident, Nikki. Very, very productive. We appreciate you all. We hope you have a pleasant and happy Valentine's Day. Until next time, until next Friday, the 21st, till we see you, you do not have to go home.
But I love you, but you can't stay here. Good night.